I remember the first BlackBerry I got. This would have been in 2007, maybe 2006. I remember being so excited about the idea of having a phone with email on it. That meant I was like a real business person. There was something, I think, that tickled my ego about that. It was amazing how quickly the blessing became a curse. You become addicted to the phone. The phone becomes the center of your life. Even now, I'm getting a spam call in the middle of me talking to you. Whatever the opposite of philosophy is, that's what this device is. The question is, are you using the phone or is the phone using you? Over the years, as someone who travels a lot, has a lot of obligations, a lot of incoming stuff, a lot of stuff to manage, I've thought a lot about how Stoicism can help us manage our screen time. So the first thing I think about is controlling our inputs. Napoleon famously, I tell the story in Stillness is the Key, Napoleon would not check his mail sometimes for up to 3 weeks. He said, I want things to resolve themselves without me. And his point was, if he's always checking, people are always going to come to him. If he steps back a little bit, things will resolve themselves for him. That's a critical question. Marcus Aurelius says, is this essential? He says, ask yourself that with everything you do and say and think. And so what I've had to try to manage with my phone is really asking, do I need to know all this stuff? Is it actually making me better? Does it need me? Am I a critical variable in this? Another decision I made similar to that point about Napoleon is I want to decide how I'm going to be reachable. So, the problem is every app or service you join creates a new inbox and different people contact you through those different inboxes. And then you're a slave to like a billion inboxes. And that's no way to live. I limit myself basically to 3. You can text me, email me, or call me. And if you're not my friend, don't text me. Right? Email is sort of the central inbox that I try to do. And then I even have 2 different inboxes. I have like my inbox for real human beings that I'm interacting with, including like fans and stuff. And then I have like my sign up for things inbox. I don't want my phone to tell me that Amazon has a promotion running. I don't care about that. I don't want to be checking 20 inboxes 50 times a day, right? And the point, knowing that if the inbox exists, you will try to check it. Another decision that I made that's been huge for the phone is don't sleep with your phone in your room. As Marcus says, most of the things that are going to interrupt you are not essential. People go, but what if you get an emergency call? Do you know how many emergency calls I've gotten in my entire life? Like 0. And if it really is an emergency, people will find a way to get a hold of you. So I don't sleep with my phone in my room, and I don't use my phone as an alarm clock in my room. That's just an excuse to check it at night. Obviously, for the Stoics, it's about having willpower, but don't put yourself in a position where your willpower is being needlessly tested. So when I go to bed at, I usually go to bed around 10 o'clock, that's the last time I'm touching my phone for the night. And then another rule, I've talked about this before, I set a rule up a few years ago. I don't check my phone for the first 1 hour that I'm awake, right? So I get up, I do my journaling, I go for a walk with my family, I read, I'll do any number of things, but I don't check my phone when I first wake up. So that means if I get 8 hours sleep, and then like this morning I woke up at a little bit before 6, I spent time with my son, we went on a walk, I spent time with my wife, I showered, I got ready to go right. I didn't touch my phone for the first time until about 8:15, 8:30. So that's 2.5 hours that I didn't have my phone in the morning. You add that into when I went to bed. Now I'm 10 and a half hours phone free. So it's almost like intermittent fasting for your phone. Weirdly, I think the smartwatch has been a big part of me not using my phone as much. It vibrates when I have a calendar thing that I have to take care of. But that's about it. And I don't think this is unstoic. If you find yourself, slipping in a way over and over again, like Epictetus says, sometimes if you're having trouble with a habit, try the opposite habit. I kept finding that I was reaching into my pocket to check the time. I want to know what time it is, and the phone is the only thing that I carry that told me the time. So by getting a watch, a smartwatch, in this case, I'm checking my phone less, and that was really important. AirPods have been a big part of that too. I like to do my calls while I'm walking. If I'm on the phone, I'm almost always walking, but I slip the phone in my pocket, I put on the AirPods, and then I'm not also checking things at the same time. Don't have social apps on your phone. A big breakthrough I had was, look, I have to use Instagram for my job. I mean, we have 1 million Instagram followers at Daily Stoic. Stoic. At Daily Philosopher's got 250. I have 200. This has been a great way to reach millions of people all over the world about Stoicism. And my friends are on there, and there's value. I enjoy the creativity of those platforms, but I don't want them on my phone. Right? So they're on my wife's phone. Drama, the founder of Young and Reckless, he was telling me he has like a fun phone and a work phone, and he leaves his fun phone in the car when he goes in to work. I don't really use my phone for entertainment like at all. I don't watch movies on it. I don't watch TV on it. When I get on a plane, although it's been a while, when I get on a plane, I don't pull up my phone and watch stuff. I read books. My phone is not a portable television, a portable entertainment device. I don't have games. Look, really smart people have worked really hard to make these technologies as addictive as possible. You've got to cut that out. The term we're using for this now is doom scrolling, right? Where we pull up social media and we just get sucked into the negativity. We pull up the news and we just get sucked into reading one story after another. Epictetus says, if you wish to be improved, be content to be seen as ignorant or foolish about things. Marcus Aurelius says, stop being bounced around by gossip. Creating a bubble of kind of selective ignorance. Like, look, I think it's essential to be an informed citizen. There's no evidence that reading the news obsessively on your phone makes you an informed citizen. There's actually a lot of evidence to the contrary that shows this makes you, a contributing member of society. In fact, I think part of the reason we are so radicalized and divided is because of our obsessions with the news and the phones and just how much time we spend on these devices. I think one of the reasons we are so addicted to these things is they're a way of disconnecting and numbing ourselves from what we should be thinking about and wrestling with and feeling. Seneca talks about looking at the things in your life that you're a slave to and looking at those things quite critically and eliminating those dependencies as much as possible. When you're dependent on something, you're not free. Epictetus he's like, look, there's physical slavery and that's really, really bad. He said, but there's plenty of rich, successful people who think they are free, who are a slave to so many different things, who are not even remotely free. And I think that's a great example of what these devices have become. It's an incredible bit of technology. It's changed the world in so many positive ways, but it's hard to deny there's also been a real negative change, which is that we're dependent on them. To me, stillness is the key through which, creativity comes, happiness comes, presence comes. When Blaise Pascal said all of our problems stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room alone, this thing is what makes sitting quietly in a room really, really hard. Even as I've been talking to you for 10 minutes, my phone, even with the strategies that I'm talking about, is not my friend. It's trying to hack away at, just the few minutes that I'm concentrating on doing this thing. And realizing that the phone has technology and it has intention behind it that's designed to attack that peace of mind is I think, a really important breakthrough. You can be philosophical and have a phone. If Marcus Aurelius lived in the time of an iPhone, would he use one? Of course, because it allows you to do all sorts of things that would have been inconceivable to the Romans a really long time ago. But that doesn't mean that we have to be a slave to them now. Deep work matters. Focused, dedicated, creative time, presence, philosophical time. It's essential, right? And when I said earlier that the phone is the opposite of philosophy, what is philosophy? It's the ability to concentrate, to see the big picture, to not be rattled by things that don't matter, to be control of oneself, right? To be autonomous. If you're spending hours and hours a day in front of a tiny screen, if the screen can make you do this, like this, like this, if you're like a rat in a cage responding to a bell, you are not being philosophical, you are not being free, and you are not being the person you are put here to be. The key thing for the Stoics for all things is to be the one in control, not the one being controlled. You want to make sure you're using the phone, not the phone is using you. And that's how a philosopher, that's how a Stoic, that's their relationship with their devices. Hey, it's Ryan Holiday. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Every day I send out an email inspired by the best Stoic wisdom, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, all designed to help you live a better life. That's what I'm trying to do. The email takes 5 minutes to read. Over 300,000 people get it. That's the largest community of Stoics ever in the history of the world. I'd love to have you check it out. Totally free. Unsubscribe whenever you want, but I think you'll like it. Sign up at dailystoic.com/email.